I think so long as the audience watch this and realize these guys aren't technically the best boxers in the world, okay?
Right.
But this is entertainment.
Yep.
This is great. You're getting more eyes on the sport, and you get some young kids watching this stuff, and then they've subscribed to the Zone or whatever it is. They go, actually, well, this is actual, a conventional boxing card on tomorrow. I watch that. You're getting new fans into dripping them in, which is great. Talk about Jake Paul. What do you guys make of So he's obviously been doing his thing in boxing, but he's now signed to the PFL. He's going to make his MMA debut. What do we think of that? That's boxing and MMA are two very different things.
Are you sure you're not Ryan Seacrest? I'm sorry. That's completely.
Well, Frank and Dennis, I want you to jump on this first because I've been talking a lot here. So,
I personally, I agree with what you said about like Jake kind of bringing new eyes to boxing and creating possibly new fans. So I think Jake jumping into PFL and trying his hand at that, he could silence a whole bunch of critics who said he can't fight. If he comes
is the
out,
brother of Logan Paul, who was just on Mania, right?
Correct.
Okay. Because I never get the first name.
He's gotten a boatload of shit for being a quote unquote boxer, and then he can't really fight, and he's fighting these MMA guys, and they're not boxers. And I think if he goes in and makes an impact and wins a couple of fights, he's really going to shut some people up because he's going to show them that I actually can fight, and I can fight. Not only can I box, but I can fight MMA as well. So I think, and I think it's just good all around for, bringing different eyes into sports that may not be paying attention to a combat sport.
Right.
It's like wrestling. Anytime you can get an emotion out of somebody, you're going to draw fans. You're going to draw anybody to see to the match, to see it either lose, win, do something. It's like the old Mike Tyson. You're gonna see him box for a minute and a half, and it'll be the best minute and a half you've ever seen. It's a show. You said it. You said in the beginning. It's a show. Give me a show.
My concern is with Jake is with boxing. It was, and I think they did the right thing. They put him with big names, but whose boxing skills were probably they were the level that Jake needed to be. And you got to remember, Jake hadn't done any. Jake is 3 years into a boxing career. The fact he's fighting someone like Tommy Fury now is probably where he should be at. I don't think anyone should criticize Jake for boxing the people he has done because he's a novice boxer. But with MMA, I felt they're going to want to put him in there with someone who isn't a novice in terms of mixed martial arts. And we know Jake can strike, but how is Jake on the ground? If you're going to fight Jake, the game plan most certainly is going to be let's take him down. I know Jake was a wrestler at high school; he's got those skills, but it's almost like being a sprinter in track and field, but then someone go and do decathlon. There's so many variables, and I know PFL are not going to want to put him in there with some no name, 3 losses on the records newbie. They're going to want to give him a real challenge, and that's where I think the challenge is: can Jake do enough? I was actually talking to Sean O'Connell, PFL's play-by-play guy, and he was a former PFL champion himself. And he said, look, you can't teach someone jiu-jitsu in 6 months. You can't become a black belt jiu-jitsu in 6 months. But what you can learn is how to not get choked out in 6 months. You can learn to be on the mat and to evade being choked out. So maybe that's what Jake's got to learn. We know he can strike. Can he kick? I don't know. But maybe that's what he's got to learn. But I think the danger in MMA, there's so many variables. Will Jake have enough time to learn what he needs to learn?
Sure. I think it's an evolution of all of it and an evolution for him, obviously. Is there enough time? What's enough time? I am interested to see it for sure. And I think that that's the first box that needs to be checked to begin with, and like Frank was saying, it's entertainment. And this is certainly something that has drawn people's interest, and they want to see what that result is. Did he have enough? Is there enough of that amateur wrestling room left over? Is there, has he picked up enough jiu-jitsu? Does he turn his leg over when he throws a tie kick. I don't know. I saw some footage, and it was the one thing that I saw out of his kick that wasn't quite there. You see a lot of people that are picking it up late, and they don't turn their hip over. And it looked like he could use a little bit of help with that. But I'm sure, he'll, I would think, have that straightened out by the time he gets there. And then, we're going to see. I mean, I'm not mad at it at all.
And by the way, if Jake needs any help turning his hip over and learning how to throw a kick, Bobby's available to help you.
Hey, there we go.
Yeah.